Hey guys, it's Rafi again, and I'm playing yet another 15-minute game with 10-second of increment. This time we're playing Georgiev 76 from Peru. So far we've played d4, knight f6, c4, e6, knight c3. I'm expecting bishop b4, the Nimzo-Indian. Yep. And now to this, I will respond with queen c2, which is the line of the Nimzo that I play. The idea is if the bishop captures a knight, the queen will capture, so I don't have to capture with the b pawn and mess up my pawn structure. Next move, I'll play a3 and force this capture to happen. Black's not necessarily forced, but it's typically... Oh, wow. That was king e7 that he just played. Okay, interesting. Very interesting move. What I was saying is that black's not really forced to take. He could play bishop e7, but that's kind of well, bishop just came to e7, b4. I played a3, which controls b4. Bishop went back to e7. I'm not really seeing exactly how that would help black. So then that, given that scenario, I think it makes better sense for black to trade off the bishop. Now, I am very confused with king e7. Um, I think it was a mouse slip, especially because he's now offering me a draw. But I thought maybe he did that so he can play rook here and king f8, possibly. But it seems like it was just a mouse slip. So the opponent is definitely a strong player. That's for sure. I'm just trying to think if there's any way that I can take advantage of this king e7 move immediately. But I'm not really seeing anything just yet. Could play bishop g5. I think I'll just stick with the standard stuff and play a3. And no, I don't want to draw. I don't want to draw in a position where I am clearly better and against a lower rated opponent. He's a strong player. I mean, blitz rating is 2100, rapid is 2200, bullet is 2000. That's definitely a very strong player, no doubt. Rook e8, and he'll play king f8, and he'll be just fine. So I want to go ahead and get the bishop out before I castle. Or sorry, before I play e3 and get this bishop out. I have some interesting possibilities here of just castling queenside. That's also, it is a possibility for sure. If e4, then h6 maybe coming my way. And if bishop h4, then g5 will happen, I'm guessing. Um, e4, h6, e5, h takes g5, I take, he takes. Not really getting anything out of that deal. I'm gonna go ahead and play a more useful move, knight f3. He could play this, but in that case, I'll take the queen. He'll take my queen, and I'll just take on c7 and be up a pawn because he has to then move his knight away. He's not able to take another pawn after that, after capturing on c3. Let's now play e3 and get this bishop out as well. Then we'll castle. So yeah, so that's basically the general idea of this opening in the Nimzo. The basic idea is that Black gives up his bishop pair for a quick development, a lead in development, whereas White gets the bishop pair, but is usually behind in development. That's kind of the trade-off of this opening. So that's exactly what's going on here. Black, even though Black did mess up kind of by playing King e7, which I guess was a mouse slip, he's still getting his pieces developed quite quickly. White still has to play bishop d3 and castle, and Black has already been castled and has one piece developed. But like I said, I do have the bishop pair to compensate for the lack of the development. Especially my dark square bishop doesn't have any competitor to challenge it. So that's definitely a strong piece, which we would like to maintain. I'm expecting maybe d5, possibly c5. d6 is a possibility. b6 is a possibility. h6 is a possibility. a6 is even a possibility. Even a5 is a possibility. And he chooses knight e4 out of all those possibilities. Okay. So I believe that this loses a pawn. So bishop takes d8. Knight takes c3. Bishop takes c7. If he tries to trap my bishop with something like that, I can always either take here, or I can take his knight back. And if he moves his knight away, say knight e4, my bishop gets out to f4, whatever, g3. So I definitely do win a pawn in this line. So I will go for that line. Just wondering if there's anything better than that. I don't think so. I think this is the way to go. Excuse me. So now, as planned, we will proceed with taking on c7. And hopefully we'll keep this bishop on somewhat, maybe on this diagonal, to control all these dark squares. Okay, so let's get the bishop out with tempo, hitting the knight. Anytime I can maintain the initiative and develop a piece with an attack, I'm going to do so. General rule of thumb. If you can attack, you should do so. I could play b4 now and really take over the queen side and really control a lot of space on the queen side here. That might be what I'll do actually in this kind of position. Okay, let's go ahead and take over queenside space, and then we'll castle next move and get these rooks activated. If I can grab space, why not? So here, I mean, I think that I have a pretty significant advantage. I have the bishop pair. I have the extra pawn here on c7 that I've grabbed. I have more space. Bit, I'm actually better developed even now because I have two pieces out, one move from castling. Black has one move out, piece out, and he has castled. So I would say that yeah, I'm better developed as well in this game. So I don't want to take on here because that's not going to help me much. I do want to consider pushing to c5, however. Yeah, I'll go ahead and push and take over control of these dark squares as well because why not? Anytime I can gain space, I will gain space. It's my philosophy. Now I have some additional light square weaknesses here, potentially. And these dark squares are completely mine. This bishop is absolutely dominating the dark squares in this game with the help of this pawn. And this pawn. And this pawn. So we have a lot of dark square domination that's going on here, and all we need to do now is just um, get developed, castle, bring our rooks to the center, start trading off the pieces, and realize our extra pawn that we have in this game. So very carefully, I will just start trading pieces one by one. I don't want to give up the bishop here. That's why I haven't taken this knight. But as soon as he offers me any other trade that makes any kind of sense, I'm going to go ahead and take it. Like if he plays knight e4, I'll probably take. Probably. Or I'll play knight d2 and threaten to take with the knight. I'm expecting knight a6 in this position probably. To which I think I'll respond with bishop d6. Okay, so he goes with knight c6, which makes sense for sure. If b5, then knight here is not available because of the bishop. He does have rook e7 though. Then I have this, which wins material. So if I play b5 here, where will this knight actually go? And I guess it has to go to e7. Bishop b5 is worth considering, but I think b5 is much stronger. b5, then knight b8 is a possibility. Knight d8 and knight e7, but I think he'll choose knight e7 because any of the other ones don't really give him any good chances here. Is now a good time to castle? Probably. I just want to calculate these pawn pushes to see if there's any value in pushing this b6 or something like that. I don't think so. I'm also debating if I want to keep the king in the center or do I want to castle. I think I'll castle. Castling sounds like a good idea now. The plan here that I have is to play a4, a5, and then maybe a6, or maybe b6, maybe c6, maybe rook c1, one, and then c6. Any of those moves now make a lot of sense. Just getting these rooks here and just pushing these queenside pawns up. You always want to play and attack in the direction of your pawn chain. So notice how my pawn chain is kind of facing this direction, which basically dictates my play. That's how I know which direction I need to play in. Definitely need to be playing in the queen side because that's where my pawns are pointing towards, and that's where I have the most space as well. As you can see, that all of these squares here belong to me. All this. And I have control over these squares here as well, and this bishop is obviously helping control those dark squares there. So yeah, next few moves will be rook here, something like that, a4, a5. I think this rook may stay on a file. Maybe this one will come to the b or c file, and this pawn will push forward. In fact, I may push the pawn forward first and then swing the rook over. Okay, so he swung the knight over to g6. So can't really get this move in. So what is the knight really doing from this g6 square? It can't go here, can't go here, can't go here. Why not just keep going with our original plan of just advancing these pawns? I think we can go ahead and push for this. Look to make a passed pawn here on this side of the board. So I think rook c1 makes a lot of sense here. The threat would be at some point to play c6. And if he takes, then we have a passed pawn here on c6. So I think this bishop can now go to d6. I think that makes the most sense here. Put this bishop on d6. If this knight ever comes here, I'll just chop the knight. And I'll put this one on d2, and this one can go to c4 and then to e5 maybe in one day. And also he'll have doubled pawns, which will become a long-term weakness, especially as we start going into the endgame and trading more pieces off. The doubled pawns will definitely hurt him. I think one thing I'll do pretty soon is I'll play the move h3 to give my king some escape square for later on, and also to give my king a route to start entering the game if needed for later on, and also to additionally stop this knight at g4 in case if he wants to play that to activate his knight. So I'm really limiting these two knights by playing a move like h3. Very difficult position to play as black. There's a lot of space that white has. The queenside pawns are kind of a big threat. All his pieces are very inactive. I'm up a pawn on top of that. I mean, this is just a dream position, really, for white. So I just have to keep playing normal moves, trading pieces whenever it makes sense, and then looking to create a passed pawn here on the queen side very soon. Okay, so finally the knight e4 move came on the board. Pretty sure that I will need to just chop this knight and give him these double pawns, which will definitely be better for me. I don't want to give up this knight yet because this knight is not doesn't have any good squares. So instead, I will draw. Excuse me. The knight backwards and try to go here. Attack this. Try to go here. Try to go here. If the knight ever goes here, I might just chop this knight and then have this great knight here versus the bad bishop. This move is a possibility here as well. But then this hangs, so he can't play this right away. What I'm calculating here is that I can't really push this pawn here right now because the b5 pawn will fall. And if I play knight c4, he might actually play f4 here. Actually, no, I don't really need to worry about this because I can just take it. The bishop is protecting f4. Let's improve this knight. This knight is headed to e5 probably. Or actually here. That's even better. All types of possibilities. d6 may be a possibility. If the bishop moves, then knight d6 looks great. Attacking b7 all the time. And he can't really defend the b7 pawn with this move because of this pawn, so he has to go backwards like that, and that's not, a very fun way to have to defend that pawn. So now, yeah, it makes sense to activate this knight and start attacking some of these weaknesses here. I would love to trade this bishop for this knight any second now. As soon as he plays this or this, I will chop this and install this knight on these great dark squares. I think this is also a good time to maybe move the rook to the b file and start pushing these pawns. Maybe. Let's take away even the h4 square from the knight. Play this move. I don't have any reason to rush in these kind of positions, so I'm going to go ahead and improve all of my pieces and then only then start attacking. So king here. Do I want to lock this thing up like that? Do I want to leave a possibility of trying to play for something on the H file? I will go ahead and just lock that up and just really take all the space. And then try to play for a breakthrough on the queen side. The moment he moves the knight, it's gone. Would love for him to take this now. My threat, by the way, is this now. Maybe open up the d file and start attacking that on the d file, possibly. Because I have this beautiful square on d6 where my pieces can stay. I'll take with this knight, because I can always reroute the knight back to d6 whenever I want to. I could consider now just exchanging and then playing c6. He takes, I take, he plays rook c7. I'll play rook c5, he'll play rook c8, I'll play rook c1. There's also knight f7 check, followed by knight d6 is one option. Let's go for that option for now. Trying to gain more space here. I think this a rook will come to the b file soon. Because I think I want to push b6 next move. Yeah, instead of c6, I think b6 might be a better break here to try to make some progress. If he takes, I'll take back and I'll have complete control over this a file, and b7 will be my new target. So he plays a6 himself. If I play b6, doesn't the pawn on b7 fall at this point? I believe it does, so I'm going to go ahead and play that actually without giving it too much more thought. If b6, then rook is going to have to go to c6, and the knight takes b7, rook b8, knight back to d6. I guess I should be able to win a pawn that's this way. My goal now is try to maybe to reroute this knight somehow to b4 to attack this guy and to help push this pawn through. Yeah, this is a pass pawn and this is a pass pawn. So these guys need to start rolling now. And this one can drop even better. Then I'll have three connected pass pawns. What you do with pass pawns is that you push them. I always have a break here as well if any of this doesn't work out. So now I have two pawns and I've got all these pass pawns and I have, really all the play in the world at this point. There's really hardly anything that black can do here. I will just move this, and now I'm going to start rerouting my knight to a better square. Again, because I have all the time in the world, there's no need to hurry. Now my threat is to play here, which will trap these guys. So he really has to move this rook somewhere now if he wants to stay in this game. Otherwise, knight e5 is definitely going to be a loss of a huge amount of material. The other thing with knight e5 is that after knight e5, I'll also have support of c6, so I can actually push this pawn through. So this is an all-purpose move at this point. A real good threat to these guys and also to this pawn. So yeah, he chooses to move the bishop, and that's okay. I think I'll install my knight here anyway. And that is the worst move he could have played because now I win the exchange. But maybe he's trying to put some light square blockade, but it's not going to work unfortunately because I still have breaks on this side of the board as well. But it is definitely a very interesting try here. But I believe it should not work. That was a very nice move though. Now it is a little complicated. How exactly I'm getting my breakthrough here. Let's start walking the king a little bit to a better square like c4. I'll probably break here and just sacrifice the rook here at this point. Oh, now I'm definitely going to break on f3. Actually, I can't because the bishop. Interesting. This was a really interesting idea. What he did is creating this light square blockade here. It turned out to be surprisingly strong, much stronger than I expected. Actually, I should have maybe pushed this to take away this square first, and then played that. Because now bishop f1, bishop g2, bishop f3 is going to be putting a lot of blockade, and I don't know how exactly I'm breaking through. This is interesting. This was a really, really interesting positional sacrifice that he did here. Very, very strong sacrifice. But I'm wondering if I didn't accept the sacrifice, though, how would I make progress otherwise anyway? That I don't know. It looked completely winning, but it's turning out to be a little bit more difficult than what I thought it was going to be. He's almost in zugzwang because he can only move the bishop for the most part, really. No other pieces can even make any moves here. Right now, what I'm trying to do is just kind of try to trick him into something here. Bishop has to move to something like this square, and then I'll move king to b4. Now I'm ready for f3 again. Very soon here. Okay, so now if f3 he takes, I play rook f1, he plays king e4. I am trying to run him out of squares here. Now if he plays that, I could potentially sacrifice the rook for the bishop. And then swing this rook over and take that one. Now is a prime time to play f3, I think. I mean, if I'm gonna play for a win, I have to play a move like f3 now. Now I have made a little bit of progress, somewhat. King has to go backwards now. He can't take on e3. It would be checkmate after rook e1. Check, he takes, I play here. Play here. Oh, now he has this annoying move here. Maybe I should have played rook e1 first and then played this move. I don't know. Yeah, it's getting a little complicated and tricky now. I mean, I feel like I'm definitely still better. There's no doubt about that, but black definitely has some drawing chances because of the light square control that he has here. Yeah, he definitely found that move. To which I believe my response should be this. And now isn't that... Oh, no, it's not checkmate, huh? He's taking this one. Could protect here. And threaten checkmate now in one move. Isn't this checkmate now? After the queen king here, isn't that checkmate? Oh, no, there's not checkmate. Ugh. This is very unfortunate. The bishop. Oh! My God. Dang it. Time. I was not paying attention to my time. Man, that is unfortunate loss. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? How did I do that? I just had to play here and take this, take here, go here, and boom. How did I lose track of time? I don't understand. Like I saw out of the peripheral that I had 7 seconds left, but man, that's just so unfortunate that that just happened. Wow, that was just such a aggravating loss because I am so winning in this position. It's crazy. Anyway, this is a good game. Very well played, I think, overall, I would imagine. We can quickly look over this and see what we could have done better other than manage time and paid attention to the clock. But I think for the most part, everything was mostly clean. I do see that the computer has found a blunder in this game, so let's definitely go over it real quick. But I think most of my moves will be pretty accurate here. Let's see, accuracy 96%, and his accuracy was 93%. Okay. So yeah, that king e7 must have been a mouse slip. Probably meant to castle. Bishop g5, king here. I mean, all these moves are going to be definitely on point and give massive advantage already. And just domination like nothing, and I still could not win this game. That's crazy. Very, very dominating position, of course. Yeah, everything is very good. No problems with my plan and execution of it. Trading the knight was a good idea, also, as I imagined. Coming after the c4 pawn, getting to c4, all this is good. Yeah, g3 again, stopping the knight from advancing to these squares here. Because if I don't play g3, if he plays knight h4, then I play g3, he can always hop into f3. It's improving the king because I have all the time in the world, so why rush in a position where the opponent can literally do nothing? And I want to go ahead and improve all of my pieces and only then push for the breakthrough. Offered him the bishop, which he took back on this pawn, came back, went here, and he played king e7, which was a very, very, very nice positional idea, which is great, a great idea. I mean, really. And apparently, this was not the best idea to take this rook because of those light square blockades that he can create, which he did in the game. I had plenty of other ways to win the game, though. I did not have to take this rook, but I took it. Still winning. It's just much harder now. Excuse me, much harder now to find the breakthrough, however, because the only break I have in the position is f3. If I can't execute f3, then that's it. So, anyway, so yeah, king shuffles, a lot of shuffling. My goal was eventually to run his bishop out of the right square so that he would not be able to come in time to stop f3, which is kind of what happened in the game. Now his bishop has too many duties, and his king is misplaced. Where the bishop is now, or the king is now blocking the diagonal of the bishop, guarding f3. So this was my chance, so I immediately took the chance, played f3, check. Oh, that was the right idea as well, to push the pawn right away. I'm behind this one. Taking was the right idea. Rook takes d4. There was a checkmate here, apparently. I kind of missed that. I played here. Yeah, what I was calculating really is just which ones do I need to sacrifice? Like, do I need to sacrifice this rook to get that and then have this rook to pick up that? Or come take this with this rook and then pick up the bishop? I was just going to go behind here, and then sack on both sides. The bishop and, basically sack a rook for the bishop and the pawn, and then simply just queen these pawns. Wasn't my idea. But unfortunately, like a total idiot, I stopped paying attention to my clock. Even though I saw that I had 7 seconds before I started calculating, and I thought I would be able to calculate and finish this in time, but unfortunately, the clock ran out. So main takeaways from this game is definitely to watch the clock, because that is as much a part of the game as anything else. And if that falls, no matter how winning you are, the game will definitely be over, as you saw in this game. Thank you guys, and I'll catch you in my next video.